Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Notando and I make videos on construction, lifestyle and travel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning back in. Please don't forget to like the video. On today's video, we have a very chilled video. This was actually a recommendation from my community post when I was like, what should I do when I get to 3,000 subscribers? And I'll just put the comment up here. This video was actually supposed to be like the best projects I've worked on, but I haven't worked on that many projects, so it's going to be all the projects I've worked on and a little bit something and something about them, so it's very chilled. Okay, let's get into the video. Project number one was the Menlyn shopping center, but we called it Menlyn phase 2 when we were working on it. I actually worked on this project when I was a student, so I didn't really do much on it, but I think I left my mark literally because I remember what happened on that project. They were still digging up like pile foundations, and we needed to just like highlight which piles were like properly hand excavated and cleaned. And there was a point where it was raining, so some of the piles had, or like the foundation holes or the excavated bubbles had water, and my drawing fell into the pile foundation, and they got a guy to like go in there and fetch it out, and it literally, the papers had dissolved, and those are the latest mock-ups of like the pile foundation, which is kind of embarrassing. Don't just mark up the drawing and leave it there. Update it on the spreadsheet so that, you know, if something like this happens, at least you have the latest marked up drawings. So yeah, that's the first one, Menlyn Shopping Center, which is in the capital city of South Africa, in Pretoria. It's a beautiful mall. It's actually become a meme online. I personally I get lost, and I worked on it. But yeah, it's really, really cool. I remember one of the funniest memes was like when they were like looting. This is not even funny, but when they were looting here in South Africa, people were saying nobody's going to loot Menlyn Mall because you need like a PhD in whatever in order for you to find the exit because of how complex it is, which is kind of funny. So yeah, that was my first introduction to the construction industry. It was Menlyn Mall, which is nice because I used to shop there way before I was even a quantity surveyor. So yeah, that was a nice job actually. That's where the rich client was. Really cool. Loved it. Loved everything about it. Job number 2 was Embassy Towers, which is in Johannesburg, Sandton. I was not here for long either as a student, but I loved working on it here. I was doing like menial works. Actually, Embassy Towers was when I started my YouTube channel. I had a video about that's when I realized that I'm going to start doing construction content. The first YouTube video that I did that was relating to construction was at the Embassy Towers. I was literally doing menial tasks as well there. As a student, you literally don't do much, but I also got to learn a lot there. It is beautiful. It is fancy. It's like these fancy lofts in Sandton, just behind the American Embassy. I think that's why they call it the Embassy Towers. So yeah, that's the second job that I worked on. I loved it. I also liked the people that I met there. So friends with some of them. Pretty cool. The third one that I worked on was, we called it Streetly. The project was just like Streetly, and then it had a code to it. But the building now is called The Campus, which is in Auckland Park, Johannesburg. This was a great job, in the sense that the reason I'm saying that this was a great job was because the location of it was like in this very studenty area, and this was my official job as a quantity surveyor. So I kind of had it was a nice transition from student life to working life. I still had my student like budget. I was still buying my noodles. I still buy noodles right now, so don't judge me. So yeah, the environment of it was no pressure, chill. There's no need to get a car just as yet. You can just, you know, live life like your peers. And I blended in with the environment. You had campus square. I liked this job predominantly for the area and what we were building. And then I moved to consulting, and I worked on a project called Marmura. The thing about consulting and working on these specific projects is that I never got to like see them physically. So you're just like working on the plan. And Marmura is in Romania, I think in the capital city of Romania. Worked on a few measures on it. It looked pretty from the drawings and stuff, but I still wish it looked pretty from the pictures and stuff, but I only got to like work on it as on drawings. So I also got to work on Avalon, which is also, Avalon actually reminded me a lot of Streetly or the campus. It had the same type of feel, like the corrugated iron at the top, the reddish face brick here and there, the industrial feel to it. So working on it kind of felt like, oh, I'm familiar with this one, So I worked on those two specifically. I've worked on other ones in consulting, but not enough for me to say that I've made my mark on this specific project. Also, this made me notice is that when you're in consulting, you're exposed to a bit more projects, because you're working on different ones at the same time, but also you're not that involved because you're just like, it's almost like bit by bit, so it's not in depth and stuff like that. And currently I'm working on like residential houses, which are just like normal homes. It's not really big or whatever, which is kind of nice, but the thing about it is that you work on every single trade. I still have a list of other projects or different types of projects I'd like to work on. One of them being like a factory shop, like, because all the ones that I've worked on have been so complex. Like I'd like to work on a box type of building and be like, huh, that was easy. I hope to work on like grand design type of projects. I'd love to work on infrastructure projects. I'd love to work on a bridge. Roads. I'd love to work on roads. I'd love to know how a lot of QSs who have worked on roads are like, it's so boring. I'd like to say, oh my gosh, it's so boring. It's just only because it's like not a lot of trades. Buildings are so complex sometimes. It's literally so many things happening at the same time. There's skirting, there's paintwork, there is ceilings, there's roofing, there's this and that. I'd like to work on a project that only has like 3 trades or something. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and look those buildings up and let me know what you've worked on, what has been the most interesting and fun project to work on that you have so far. See you later in another video. Please do not forget to like the video. Bye.